Welcome back to War Thunder Weekly News. This week, 1.85 was announced, so hit that subscribe and let's see what is coming. Italian tanks was the first announcement. A display of all the possible packs that you can buy with a new one, the Semovente 105-25, which I'm just going to call the M43 for now on. At rank 3, this Italian tank destroyer has a 105mm cannon and 75mm of frontal armor that is flat. Being a casemate tank destroyer, this thing looks like it would be somewhere in rank 2, but they put it in rank 3, and I can't see it being much more than 3.3, unless that 105 has some amazing penetration, which I doubt it has, as it's quite a short-barreled gun, though I could imagine some 105mm heat could be devastating. They decided to bundle all the Italian tanks together into one big old pack, costing around $56 at a 30% discount. The M43 also received its own dev block, but that wasn't the only vehicle revealed. On the announcement page, they spoke of the BlueBeta 501 self-propelled gun, which is an armored car wielding a 90mm cannon with a similar muzzle velocity to the well-known German Flak 88. No mention of where this would appear on the tree, but it shows us something that we can expect more of: armored cars. Italy actually used a whole lot of them during and after the war. Odd vehicles like the BlueBeta 105 are actually something that I look very much forward to, because as there's just about nothing I can think of that is similar to this vehicle. Perhaps maybe the Flak bus, but this being a wheeled vehicle, I assume it would be a bit faster. But regardless, I very much look forward to it. But later in this article, they refer to higher ranking vehicles, including armored cars with recoilless guns. The most likely candidate for this would be the Lizard F333E, a van-looking thing developed by Ferrari and Lamborghini of all people. It can not only hold a recoilless gun, but also 6 ATGMs, which would make this thing extremely lethal, especially if it has a nice speed, which I'm assuming it does because of the companies who made it. Apparently also the Fiat 6614 could carry a recoilless rifle, although I'm more curious if we're going to see variants that were developed by foreign nations, as this thing did seem to go just about everywhere, and in Peru was even armed with ATGMs and a cannon. The next line is extremely powerful SPAA, and there's only one thing that comes to mind when I think of Italy and extremely powerful SPAA, and that's the automatic. If you don't know what this thing is, feel free to bug any Italian. I'm sure they'll be able to show you the gospel that is the automatic. 75mm gun with a fire rate of 120 rounds per minute and can fire proximity fused flak rounds and APFSDS, all on a very maneuverable OF-40 chassis. This thing is going to be terrifying and probably be the first 10.0 spag. It ends this sentence with, and tanks which are not inferior in their combat effectiveness to the tanks of other nations in game. So a 10.0 or greater top tier tank. What that's going to be is hard to find out. According to the leaked information I have received in weeks past, it is highly likely to be the C1 Ariete. And if that thing happens to be any better than current top tier tanks, they would have to introduce new top tier tanks for everyone, just to make sure things are fair. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But that's not all the information out there, as on the French and Polish version of this announcement page, it was also mentioned that the OF-40 Mk.2A were to be added. And thanks to the European Canadian for making a video of this very quick before Gaijin was able to edit it out as it is now. A link to his video should pop up in the corner. The OF-40 is essentially an Italian Leopard, which to my understanding, including the automatic, about 6 variants exist. So the original OF-40, just an Italian Leopard, didn't even have a stabilizer, armed with a 105mm cannon. The OF-40 Mk.2A just has a stabilizer and some other upgrades that wouldn't affect in-game performance. The OF-40 Mk.2A1 was an attempt to further upgrade this tank, giving it a 120mm cannon and a new engine. However, from my understanding, the prototype was not finished, but the turret went on to influence the C1 Ariete. The other 3 variants are the automatic, an armored recovery vehicle, and finally a self-propelled howitzer version, armed with a very long-barreled 155mm cannon, 5 degrees of depression, and able to fire 3 rounds in 20 seconds. While very cool, it unfortunately only fires rocket-assisted HE frag, smoke, and illumination rounds. So I would assume this thing is not coming. Though 155mm HE frag could still possibly do a lot of damage to high-ranking vehicles. And that rocket assistance would be very interesting to see in-game. Though I very doubt we'll ever see this thing, unfortunately. Now, a lot of people seem to be getting a mix-up claiming the the Mk.2A is the one with the 120mm, but according to BlueBeta, apparently that is the Mk.2A1. And I would personally believe him, because I believe he is the Italian tank researcher for Gaijin. Also being added to the Italian tree is any future Romanian vehicles, air or ground. This was stated by the store team dude, although he got the number of Romanian vehicles in the Italian tree wrong, as there is the IAR-81C and HS-129B2, but he is miscounting that there's also the SM-79B in the bomber line. The store team dude goes on to further state that both the Romanian planes in the German tree are in fact hidden, if you didn't know, as a lot of people actually have those, and that the HS-129 is now available for Golden Eagles in the Italian tree, but then at the end he states, and the same will happen to Gustav. So the BF-109G2 will be in the Italian tree. At least that's what he's saying. The store team dude has been wrong in the past a few times, but honestly there's no reason why it shouldn't be in the Italian tree. Italy does need more planes. It's another premium they could add. It's a well-loved premium, and it's possible that it's going to go up for Golden Eagles, as prior it used to be a pack. I'm assuming the same will also happen to the Romanian HU-112 that is hidden in the German tree. And finally, on things that the store team dude said, in reply to someone asking him what kind of packs they are going to be up on sale, the store team dude replied with, "Be careful what you wish for." This could just be a joke. It could refer to the Italian tank destroyer that we got. It could also imply that there's more packs on their way to be announced. So overall, on the Italian tree, it's looking quite interesting. We're going to see a lot of tank destroyers. Italy had a lot of those. We're going to see some really nice looking armored cars and some silly ones, which I am very much for. Though in the later tiers, it's going to be full of a lot of foreign vehicles. Italy used a high number of M47s and M46s, which we already have one. I believe also M60s. And they also had some Shermans. Well, every tree needs a Sherman. That's the prophecy of War Thunder. But after that, around rank 6, and on the armored car side of things, I think we can expect a lot of native designs. For those still interested in World War II tanks like me, this is a very exciting addition, as they had a lot of very World War II-esque designs, even prior World War II designs. Some things I'm really hoping that we get are at least one form of the L3 tanklet series and the Fant 2000, which is a very angry box. Unrelated to the Italian tree, Germany is getting quite the buff as new battle rating plans have been rolled out, and a majority of them are high-ranking German vehicles having their battle rating lowered. The Panther A is going down to 5.7, making it so the TV is no longer a pay-to-win monster, and the Panther 2 is going back down to 6.7. Personally, I thought it performed quite well at 7.0, and now I don't know what to take out with the Tiger II 105. The Leopard A1A1, the Leopard A1A1 L44, and the TAM are all going down to 8.7, which is going to be a very shocking change. I'm not so sure how much I feel about the A1A1 L44 going down to 8.7 as well, as it is fundamentally just a better Leopard A1A1. The TAM, while faster, has less armor, so it's essentially the same. The German M48 is going down to 7.7, and the Lorraine is going up to 7.0 because that thing still keeps clubbing. A lot of questionable changes here, but it will definitely shake things up. Personally, I find it very funny that the XM1 is the only top tier premium that is able to stay at its 9.0 battle rating. Many say it should be raised. Although something that concerns me is it's possible there might be lowering the battle ratings to make room to shove more powerful vehicles at top tier, without raising the battle rating, as they like to keep it nice and clean at 10.0, which would just lead to crushing the matchmaking. A very odd item appeared on the store, although you cannot find it while browsing, you have to go directly through a link, is this silly snail on a boat called the Steam Pack Down, where you get the decal of the snail on the boat, 300 Golden Eagles, and the title Down, all for $199, which happens to be the price of 300 Golden Eagles. Apparently it has to do with a Russian live stream, but you are still perfectly able to purchase it if you want. A system that allows you to keep track of long distance shells in arcade boats has been added. It sounds very complicated in the changelog, but essentially your shell is highlighted with a green line to tell you whether you are anywhere close to hitting or not. Great for when everybody's shooting the same boat when you're not sure what shells are yours. Additionally, you are no longer allowed to take out a plane which has a battle rating higher than 0.6 of the max ship battle rating you have in your lineup. I'm guessing some people have been doing this to wreak havoc and certain higher tier aircraft, even though they did not have the boats to assist in it. The repair function changes that they had talked about last week are now put into place, though with some alterations. Now it only affects the engine and transmission. If you are damaged to those without a repair kit, after 20 seconds, you should be able to move around still. This is a much better compromise to the arcade effect of your tank just being magically repaired. Now, if you get shot, you can not fight back, but are still able to return to a cap circle to repair. Personally, I think they should just get rid of the whole parts modification, replace it with something else that is more fun and interesting to grind. Additionally, with that was a host of bug fixes for Navy, well, most of them being minor changes to individual ships. Some of the big ones were that smoke trails for autocannons up to 40 millimeters have been removed. Overheating functions for 30 millimeters, 57 millimeter, and 76 millimeter autocannons have been added, while overheating for smaller guns up to 20 millimeters has been removed. Chance of destruction from larger ships from one hit has been decreased. And very long-winded answer, but the striking ability of large shells, 150 to 180 millimeters, is now much higher, as the torpedo launching animation for a lot of German boats has been increased. And that's just about all the news this week. If you have any comments or concerns or questions, you can hit me up down below or on my Discord. If you've liked this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like the video, don't hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I make news videos every Sunday, and I make random videos throughout the week. I'm also trying to stream every Friday, so hit that bell icon to be notified anytime I upload anything. So thanks for watching and have a great day.